right, good evening, everyone. Let's hope we don't lose our electricity, right? We'll begin our meeting tonight with a silent prayer. Please rise.
Thank you, Madam President. As we take a moment to remember those who have passed, please remember Mr. Winfield Chesky, who passed away suddenly on June 30th. Mr. Chesky began his teaching career in Wtby in 1989 as an elementary physical education teacher, then transferring to Wtby High School in 1992 as a substance abuse prevention teacher, where he remained until his death. He was formerly the assistant football coach at Wtby High School and currently the head softball coach at Wtby High School and assistant football coach at Kennedy High School. Let us remember, win, and recognize his service and dedication to the students of the Wtby Public Schools. He will be greatly missed by the students and staff at Kennedy and Wtby High Schools.
Thank you. And let us all pray for peace and reconciliation in our nation. Commissioner Van Stone, would you lead us?
I'd be honored. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Harvey?
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez? Commissioner Pagano? Vice President Rodriguez? Commissioner Stango?
Here.
Commissioner Sweeney? Commissioner Theriault?
Here.
Commissioner Jason Van Stone?
Present.
Commissioner Tom Van Stone?
Present.
President Brown?
Here. Thank you. We have a quorum. Communications. Email communication dated June 10th from Tia Sample regarding her Progress book account. Communication dated June 13th from Wtby Veterans Memorial Committee regarding the 19th Annual Korean War Veterans Remembrance Day ceremony. Copy of communication dated June 13th from Civil Service to Dallas Swain regarding seasonal and at-will employment. Communication dated June 14th from Connecticut Education Association regarding department head job description. Copy of communication dated June 21st from Civil Service certifying Tarek Ahmed for the position of Maintainer 1. Copy of communication dated June 21st from Civil Service to Michael Rosa regarding seasonal and at-will employment. Copy of communications dated June 23rd from Civil Service to Jordan Mastriani, Hugo Nero, and Marquita Nila regarding seasonal and at-will employment. Email communication dated June 23rd from Kevin Egan regarding department head posting. Communications from Louise Allen Brown, grant writer, dated June 28th regarding various grants received and or applied for. Email communication dated June 30th from Robert Goodridge regarding Board of Education's June 30th workshop. Civil summons received July 1st, 2015 regarding Hackney versus City of Wtby and Wtby Board of Education. Can I have a motion?
Motion to receive and place on file communications as read.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We'll have public address to the board. We have one speaker tonight, Robert Goodridge. Oh, we need a motion. I'm sorry. Motion
Meeting minutes.
to...
Meeting minutes?
Meeting minutes?
Yeah, item number 5 on the
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Number 5, approval of minutes for November 18th, 2015, rescheduled committee meeting, November 18th, 2015, rescheduled regular meeting, December 1st, 2015, sheriff call meeting, December 3rd, 2015, regular meeting, December 10th, 2015, committee meeting, December 17th, 2015, regular meeting, December 22nd, 2015, special meeting, January 14th, 2016, committee meeting, and January 21st, 2016, regular meeting. Could I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. A motion, please.
Madam President, I make a motion to suspend the regular order of business to hear from the public.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. First name on the list is Mr. Robert Goodridge.
Say it's pertaining to this meeting.
Yes, I'm sorry. All speakers tonight have to speak to things on the agenda. Thank you.
Yes, I'll name them as I
Okay,
as I
thanks.
address them, okay? Good evening, Dr. Olet and Board of Education Commissioners. My name is Robbie Goodrich. I'm co-founder of an educational advocacy group here in Waterbury, Connecticut. The first issue that I'd like to address is 9.1, and that's the Memorandum of Understanding that the board is being presented to tonight and asked to vote on. I'm asking you to take it off the consent calendar and to be the merits to be debated by our elected officials. The reason why I'm doing this and requesting this is after my conversation with Dr. Hedges at the Southern Connecticut State University and Race's work and the board's work and the Dr. Olet's work in regards to minority teacher recruitment and retention. Agreements and understandings like this are an opportunity for the district to prioritize minority candidates to be promoted and to give them opportunities to become highly qualified educational professionals. Agreements or understandings that don't prioritize non-white candidates for our district sets us back. So I'm asking you, one, if it stays on the consent calendar, to reconsider this agreement after speaking with Southern and coming up with a strategy so that this can be implemented for all further understandings with agencies of higher education. It fits both of the organization's goals to increase diversity. The second thing I'd like to address is item number 7, and this may be a stretch, but it's regarding the evaluation of district employees, particularly by the Board of Education. I sent an email last week with my concerns about evaluations being done, particularly for the superintendent, without those evaluations, including the disaggregation of student data based on race and gender. It's prudent, if we're going to follow the blueprint, okay, and provide the best educational services for all students, that these types of data be revealed through the evaluation, and that the focus of this district should provide the best educational services for the most underrepresented students in the district. This specifically works to solve something that was identified in the original Alliance grant that stated that there is a lack of equal distribution of effective instruction throughout the district. Without analyzing subgroup performance on inter-district and state assessments, it makes it nearly impossible for this board to evaluate any employee, let alone the superintendent. So I encourage you to stop the evaluation process until these sets of data are made available to the board and to the public. The third item that I'd like to discuss tonight is a communication that I'm going to be sending that regards the hiring of teacher candidates and administrator candidates. One recommendation from RACE is to create a minority teacher recruitment performance advisory council, which is modeled specifically after the Public Act 16-41, which came out of the Minority Teacher Recruitment Task Force. I encourage you to support this initiative and to create this performance advisory council as soon as possible. The second is to mandate Rooney rules be implemented. I've sent communications to Mr. Branker, the mayor, and the board about the efficacy of these practices, considering that we're currently hiring administrators and educators in all of our institutions. Without these two mechanisms in place, we're incapable of measuring the efforts of the district to hire non-white educator candidates. This is not only prudent, but it also battles perception and would be a good faith effort, not only to show the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities, but also the community at large. Thank you for listening to me tonight.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who would like to speak tonight? If not, could I have a motion to return to the regular order of business?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Could I please have a motion to go into executive session?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to convene into executive session for the discussion of concerning the appointment, employment, performance, evaluation, health, or dismissal of a public officer or employee.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. He did. Oh.
Motion to return the regular business?
I'll wait for Karen.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item 7 on the agenda. I'm sorry, 8, Committee on School Personnel, Commissioner Stango.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, with the approval of the Committee on School Personnel, the Superintendent of Schools recommends approval of the lateral transfer request of Stephanie Carpentieri, Supervising Vice Principal, from Bunker Hill School to Sprague School, effective immediately. Respectfully submitted and so moved.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Stephanie here?
Stephanie here? Well, congratulations. Yeah, she's here. We could say congratulations, right? Commissioner Stango.
Thank you.
8.2.
Item 8.2. Ladies and gentlemen, with the approval of the Committee on School Personnel, the Superintendent of Schools recommends approval of the appointment of Jennifer Dwyer as elementary school principal of Gilmartin School, effective immediately.
So moved.
So moved.
Okay. Discussion? Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm very pleased to recommend to the Board of Education the approval of Mrs. Jennifer Dwyer as principal of Gilmartin Elementary School. Mrs. Dwyer's education career began 12 years ago in Waterbury Public Schools as a special education teacher at Generali Elementary School. In 2012, Mrs. Dwyer was appointed supervising vice principal at Driggs Elementary School in the fall of 2015. She became supervising vice principal at Gilmartin School. In February 2016, she was asked to serve as interim principal at Gilmartin Elementary School and served that position well. During these past few months at Gilmartin as the interim principal, she's proven herself to be an instructional leader who can effectively manage a building, put systems in place, and build capacity for growth at all levels. She has spent countless hours assessing the school's needs and developing procedures and structures to implement all that will support a safe learning environment for all. Her credentials include a 6-year at Southern Connecticut State University, educational leadership, a master's at UConn in special education, a bachelor's at UConn at elementary education, and special education. She holds certifications in the area of administration, supervision, elementary education, and comprehensive special education. Her colleagues describe her as outstanding educator, mentor, and school leader, professional, dedicated, and an asset to the educational field. Her work ethic, vision, and collaborative approach are central characteristics that make her an exemplary administrator. I'm pleased to present Mrs. Jennifer Dwyer as principal at Gilmartin School. I figure what it is.
Oh. Discussion, okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Roll call, please.
Roll call? Okay.
Commissioner Harvey?
Yes.
Commissioner Stango?
Yes.
Commissioner Theriault?
Yes.
Commissioner Jason Van Stone?
Yes.
Commissioner Tom Van Stone?
Yes.
President Brown?
Yes. Congratulations.
And unfortunately, Mrs. Dwyer was out of district to address the board this evening and the public, but we do have a video that she has sent forward to as an acceptance to it. So if you could just turn to your right or straight forward, Mrs. Dwyer would like to address the board and thank them as well as the public.
Great. Okay, Commissioner Stango.
Thank you,
8.3.
President. Ladies and gentlemen, with the approval of the Committee on School Personnel, the Superintendent of Schools recommends approval of the appointment of Lori Kramars as elementary principal of Washington School, effective immediately, respectfully submitted, and so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm very pleased to recommend to the Board of Education and the public the approval of Ms. Lori Kramars as the principal of Washington Elementary School. Ms. Kramars' educational career began 18 years ago in Waterbury Public Schools as a teacher at Walsh Elementary School. In 2005, Ms. Kramars was appointed teaching vice principal at Washington Elementary School, and in 2015 became supervising vice principal at Chase Elementary School. Lori has always been extremely involved in the school community. During this past year at Chase, she's proven herself to be an educational leader where she manages daily operations, school-wide committees, the Positive Behavior Intervention Support Program, EIP, and 504 cases, designed a comprehensive school improvement plan, and handled school discipline, to name a few. Her credentials include credits at the University of New England, 6th year at Sacred Heart in administration, a master's at University of Bridgeport in elementary education, a bachelor's at the UConn Health Management System. She holds certifications in the area of administration and supervision and elementary education. Her colleagues describe her as capable, enthusiastic, collaborative, and instructional leader, professional team player, and ensuring student success. I am so pleased to present Ms. Lori Kramars as principal of Washington Elementary School.
Congratulations. We have to vote. We have to vote.
We can change our mind.
We got ahead of ourselves.
That's okay.
We got ahead of ourselves. Go ahead. Discussion?
Call the vote.
Harvey?
Yes.
Commissioner Stango?
Yes.
Commissioner Theriault?
Yes.
Commissioner Jason Van Stone?
You've already applauded, so yes.
Commissioner Tom Van Stone?
Yes.
President Brown?
Yes. Okay, now.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the board members, Dr. Roulette, President Brown, for appointing me as the new principal of Washington Elementary School. I spent 10 years of my career with my Washington family. It's an amazing staff. I'm looking forward to getting back to working with the students there that I came to love and the families there. I was also fortunate enough to be mentored by Roxanne Augelli throughout my time there. I can go on and talk about my vision and my mission and all those things, but I wanted to share something a little more personal. Just recently, I received a letter from a former student from Washington, and she is now going to be a senior at the Wtby Career Academy, and I just want to share a short bit of it with you. Dear Ms. Kramars, as one of the best teachers I've ever had, I'm writing this letter to you. I, Diana, was your student almost all throughout elementary school at Washington. I was devastated to find out that you had left Washington School. You have influenced me in so many amazing ways. You were always so encouraging and nice to your students. I have learned to work hard from you. You are the reason I love to read. And I just want to say, this is why I do what I do. And I am extremely excited to continue impacting young people's lives and to do it with my Washington family. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. Lori.
Watch your step. Congratulations.
Okay, we're moving on to the consent calendar. Would anybody like to remove anything from the consent calendar? Commissioner Theriault?
I'd like to remove 9.6, please.
0.6. Okay. Commissioner Harvey?
9.1.
Okay. Okay. All right, I will read the consent calendar with 9.1 and 9.6 removed. 9.2, request approval of an occupancy agreement with Staywell Healthcare, Inc. for a portion of Wallace Middle School for the school-based health center. Request approval of amendment number 1 to a maintenance service agreement with SNE Building Systems for Facilities Management System, System Support Services, temperature contract at various locations. 9.4, request approval of a professional service agreement with Easter Seal Rehabilitation Center of Greater Wtby to provide board-certified behavior analyst and behavior therapist services. 9.5, request approval of a professional service agreement with Rob Davis, Summit Support Services to provide board-certified behavior analyst services. 9.7, use of school facilities by school organizations and/or city departments. 9.8, use of school facilities by outside organizations and/or waiver request. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve the consent calendar as read.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Thank you. Could I have, okay. Items removed from the consent calendar, 9.1.
Okay. 9.1. Ladies and gentlemen, with the approval of the Committee of the Whole, the Superintendent of School recommends approval of a memorandum of understanding with Southern Connecticut State University for SCSU School of Education graduate cohorts. Respectfully submitted and so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Harvey.
Discussion, just to, I had this removed just in respect of the request to remove this and to see if there was any discussion that the commissioners had in regards to this. But I think I understand what the request is, and that is to have the consideration of minorities with this cohort. So I hope I'm understanding what exactly the request is. But again, this is just out of respect for the request that was made to remove this out of the consent calendar.
Any other comments? Call the roll call?
Yeah, roll call.
Commissioner Harvey?
Yes.
Commissioner Stango?
Yes.
Commissioner Theriault?
Yes.
Commissioner Jason Van Stone?
Yes.
Commissioner Tom Van Stone?
Yes.
President Brown?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. 9.6.
Thank you. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, with the approval of the Committee on Building, the Superintendent of Schools recommends the approval of the addition of the following non-voting members to the Board of Education's Building Committee: Charles E. Pagano, Charles L. Stango, Ann M. Sweeney, John E. Theriault, and Jason Van Stone for the proposed Wendell Cross Extension and Alteration Project. Number 1, also 2 members of the Board of Aldermen as recommended by the President of the Board of Aldermen. Number 2, 1 Wendell Cross parent recommended by the principal of Wendell Cross School and/or 1 East Mountain community member recommended by the committee's voting members. And number 3, the principal of Wendell Cross School. Respectfully submitted and so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Theriault.
I'm certainly not opposed to putting 2 additional Board of Aldermen members on the committee or community members on the committee. But having been a naysayer on this project, I feel like I'm kicking a dead horse. But still, an opportunity rises for me to speak once again, and I'm going to speak. The East End overcrowding, the alleged East End overcrowding, we have the same population in the East End schools, Chase and Generali, as we did 11 years ago. That is probably our alleged number 1 situation in terms of overcrowding. As other commissioners have pointed out, it was a problem 11 years ago with overcrowding, and it's a problem now. Excuse me. That being said, so now instead of looking at the East End to rectify or alleviate some of the overcrowding, now we're looking at Wendell Cross to alleviate no overcrowding. There's no overcrowding at Wendell Cross. There's 337 students, so for $46.5 million, we're going to get 213 new seats at a cost of $218,000 per new seat. As I said previously, and I am like a broken record, I keep saying the same thing over and over to try to get some cognitive dissonance. In other words, hearing something over and over again and kind of breaking the tradition and having people think out of the box in a new way. If you were to put up a new school, if you needed a new school, and you were to put up a new school, and you could find the land on 40 Bumps or the gravel pit or wherever, you could put up a school for 550 seats at a cost of $84,000 per student. You could take Wendell Cross, keep it as it is, not expose any of the asbestos or PCBs, which we have put aside $900,000 to remediate or abatement, which I think is too little. But you could take that school, you could rename it as the East End Overflow, take 200 kids out of Chase, 150 out of Generali, rectify the problem in the East End, give Wendell Cross its new school, and not tear down the gym, not expose the asbestos, not expose the PCBs, because once we open that school up, we're responsible for every morsel of that asbestos and PCBs. So I just wanted to reiterate my proposal again. I know it's, for the most part, going to fall on deaf ears, and the horse is already dead, so kicking him isn't going to revive him. But I'm going to vote against this, not because I'm opposed to the people being added to the committee, but because I'm opposed to renovating an old school and making a renovated old school and tearing down the gym and putting up a new gym. We have 2 gyms up at Kennedy now. How ridiculous is that when, you know, the school facilities plan was supposed to be initiated to create new seating and overcrowding, rectify the overcrowding in the town. So as the part of the $260 million that we've spent, I think less than half of it has been used to create new seats for new students and overcrowding. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments? Commissioner Harvey.
Yes, I hope that when we have the meetings, that notification is sent out to all of the commissioners, because we can attend as well. So I'm just making sure that that notification is sent to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Vote.
Vote? Call the roll? Yeah, because he's not voting for it, so.
Commissioner Harvey?
Yes.
Commissioner Stango?
Yes.
Commissioner Theriault?
No.
Commissioner Jason Van Stone?
Yes.
Commissioner Tom Van Stone?
Yes.
President Brown?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Superintendent's notification to the board. Could I have a motion to approve to accept the superintendent's notification to the board?
Motion received and placed on file, superintendent's notification of the board.
Second.
Items 11.1 through 11.12.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Discussion.
Discussion?
We had some things that we wanted to just mention, I thought.
It's not on the agenda. It's just
Well,
adjournment.
then I'll talk about it during discussion then.
Just go right ahead. Yep.
The discussion's about the motion to adjourn.
Okay,
There's
wise
no
guy, I
discussion.
thought I was waiting for someone to catch that. Okay, I yield. But there are some important things we need to mention, so I'll just,
No, point of order, I come to Commissioner Harvey's defense. At the end
Thank
of
you.
each meeting,
Yeah.
we have a discussion of things from a previous
Yep.
business
Yes.
meeting or things from a new meeting. So I think Commissioner Harvey, it was within her power to be recognized prior to the adjournment.
you're Can we do
If
that?
you would like to
Thank
make
you,
some
thank you,
comments, go
thank you,
ahead.
Commissioner.
There's a motion on the floor to adjourn or not.
I
We
know.
can't
Then
just
we
pretend
can
we're
vote,
not.
then we can vote it down then.
Okay, that's fine.
All those in
All
favor?
those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Opposed?
Motion passes.
Okay. Too bad we didn't catch it. No, that's all right. It's.
The agenda was.